I'm here with the wonderful Desmond Murray, and he's going to tell us why you should be respecting our sector.
So, for me, what's really important when I started hairdressing, one of the things I learned from an earlier on is how to correct my mistakes, and that then made me a professional. So, I think for me, what makes respect is a good word, because at the end of the day, I think as a professional, I think there should be a standard and a level and quality that we all adhere to. So, when you go to a professional or someone that's got an MVQ or someone that in America they call them license, that you're going to get a certain standard of work. And I think that's really important to have that standard, and that's where the respect comes in.
And how do you think the industry should be perceived by consumers or the wider world?
So again, and this is a tricky one, because, I see some of the products that we use now, the professional products, are creeping into the consumer world, and that's okay. However, and I think there should be a standard and a level where we still have professional products in our industry, because that upholds the integrity of our industry and upholds the standard and the level and the quality of the products that we use. And also a little bit of kind of education and knowledge comes with that as well, from the professional point of view. So, if you bought a product in a salon, for instance, the person who's doing your hair would explain how that product works, how to use it, and when to use it, and why do you use it. So if you're a consumer and you buy that product in a shop, you don't get any of that professionality. So I think it's important that the standard and the level is still there.
And do you think the sector gets the respect it deserves from the public?
It's a tricky question again. Can I phone the French? I'll be on the fence? No, not really. I think at the end of the day, professionals, I personally don't think we get the respect that we deserve. Even if, in a salon environment, a client can turn up late, or not turn up at all, book an appointment, not turn up at all, and they don't get charged for it. If you're a doctor or a dentist, that'd be totally different. So I personally don't think we do get the respect that we deserve.
What do you think we need to do to earn that, to change that perception?
I think it'd be nice to come out with this. My brain's churning over today. Coming out with these tricky questions, I know, right? I just think education's a key to everything. And I think when I first started hairdressing, I'd done hair and beauty. So we had to learn about the scalp. We had to learn about how to bank your money, how to design a salon, so all that comes with education. And I personally think there should be a standard of education that's offered, that we learn all the basics like that. So, when you get thrown out in the wider community as a professional, you know how it all works. I remember when I got taught at college, we weren't allowed to talk about we weren't allowed to talk about anything to do with church or anything religion. We weren't allowed to talk about that. There's certain things we weren't allowed to do, and even now, I still don't touch on those subjects, because at the end of the day, as a professional, you just kind of need to be neutral, if that makes any sense.
What do you love most about working in the industry?
Oh, I've had this conversation many times today. I think we've got the best industry ever. And I've been doing hair for over 30 odd years, and I'm still super excited now as I ever was. But even kind of walking around, seeing all the stuff that's around here, seeing the award pictures in the gallery. I mean, I was one of the judges, but you don't know who's done what. And to see your peers doing some awesome work, sometimes I feel a bit inadequate. I think, wow, this is like the standard's really high. And I look at that and I think, do you know what? I like the fact that the level and quality of our work, especially in England, is, you know, I used to do a lot of shows all over the world, and they look to us as English hairdressers. We set the bar. And looking at those award pictures today, and look who's done what, I'm like, yeah, we're in safe hands. It's all good. And I'm very honoured and very privileged to be in an industry like this, because I don't feel like I've done a day's work in my entire life. However, I've worked really hard throughout my life, but I still really enjoy it. I'm still motivated, and I'm still learning, and I'm still liking to meet new people, reinvent myself and grow as a hairdresser and an individual.